In today's video, we are trying out 5 food hacks from 5-minute crafts. Will these food preservation methods work, or are they a bust?
So testing out some theoretical food preservation methods.
That is correct.
To see which ones actually work and which ones are just made up and camera tricks. I don't even know what all the things we're doing, so you take the lead, you tell us what to try and in what order.
So the first thing that we're gonna do is...
Eggs.
Eggs. Not the whole egg.
Okay, I was gonna say, I don't think eggs need preservation much.
The yolk. You gotta bake them for a few minutes, but supposedly once you've done this preservation method with them, you can use the egg yolks as sort of a delicious food topper. I don't know if I believe
Sounds gross
it.
to me, but let's try it.
Okay, let's do it. So the preservation method of this particular hack is kind of the thing that made me giggle the most. The #1 ingredient for this is salt, not egg. Yeah, we're gonna need more than that.
Oh boy, for one, how many eggs are we doing?
I'll do like 4 or 5. Yeah. Here's the idea. We have to lay down a bed of salt, create little divots, put the egg yolks in them, and then cover it entirely with salt.
All right.
Yep. Nice. Okay, so now that we've got them in their nice beds of salt.
6 egg yolks coated in salt.
Now we're gonna add some salt.
Just what they need.
And you basically cover them until they're gone.
Salt, of course, has been used as a preservative for hundreds of years, maybe thousands of years. We know that it can preserve stuff. Typically, I think it's been used mostly for meat. I've never heard of it being used for eggs before, but I've never heard of trying to preserve eggs before, really. Except pickling them in century eggs, yeah, I guess. So this is an all new method to me.
So now supposedly we refrigerate them for 4 days. So we have the ones in the container that should work the way that 5-minute craft says, and then Nate has got his own in a bowl. That should be our control. For our next trick, we need the pineapples.
Pineapple.
There we go. I tried to go for 2 that were as similar in color and size as possible. Their tops aren't quite the same, but as far as their body, that's about the same color.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's the same size. All right, so go ahead and choose one.
This one.
Okay, go ahead and cut the top off.
All right.
Cool. Go ahead and discard that top. If you would be so kind as to flip that upside down onto the plate. And you're done.
Now I'm waiting to see if it works.
Yeah. Here's the idea of this one. If you turn the pineapple upside down after cutting off the top, they say that this one is going to last on the counter much longer than this particular pineapple. It didn't tell us whether or not it was refrigerated, they left it out. It just said after some amount of time, this one will have turned like a mottled brown almost.
I feel like this is gonna take weeks.
And then this one was super fresh. So
pineapples don't go bad terribly quickly.
I don't know, but I'm also curious. This one we've now cut open. How is that one going to be better than this one? So we're just going to leave them out on the counter for about a week, see what happens. So in the video, it shows 2 separate containers full of water with parsley in it. Now one of them, they covered in a plastic bag and then secured with a rubber band, and that one showed that the parsley stayed nice and fresh and healthy, and the other one was wilted and droopy. Let's try it out.
So I have a rubber band stretched around the jar.
Yep.
Like this. Here's a Ziploc bag. So I'm gonna take the parsley. You can see the stems are nice and in the water there. Seems pretty likely to me that the rubber band is what's gonna help. Over the plastic, holding it in place.
I'm getting rid of all the droopy ones right now because that doesn't seem like a fair test.
And now we leaf.
I'm leafing. The next hack we're gonna try is with our squashes. I can't remember what kind of squashes these are because you took the tags off. These are the same types of squash that they have in the videos. We're going to cut both in half. Now it shows one where they put salt on top, sprinkled it just on top, and then covered it in saran wrap. And then the other one, it just looked like they had left cut. And then it says with and without, and it shows one looking very well preserved and one not as preserved. It doesn't tell us whether or not they refrigerate them. It doesn't tell us whether or not they covered the other one in saran wrap. So how we handle the control is a little bit up to us at this point. But
I think we should do refrigerator because that seems pretty
basic.
Yeah, it's what people are gonna do.
Also, whoever uses just that top of the squash and nothing else is confusing to me, but okay.
It looks just like a park.
All right, salt. We're gonna take a decent handful and just sprinkle it onto the top of one of these. They didn't even quite cover the whole thing. It was just most of it.
I'm assuming that we're supposed to go with the idea that they then spread it out to cover.
No, it sort of looked just...
Kind of just through the...
Yeah, it didn't look any different.
Right.
It looked just like that.
Plastic wrap just gets thrown on this pile puddle.
Now, as Nate said, salt has been used as a preservation method for a very, very, very long time. But I've never seen it done quite this way. Just like that, they just noop right down. That was it. So let's go ahead and do the same with the other. And you said you wanted to put these in the fridge.
I think fridge is what most people would do to preserve squash.
Okay, let's leave these for a week and see what they look like. For the last hack, we've got some avocados. Now, the idea with this is that the enzymes from an onion are going to help an avocado last longer. So if you have avocado leftovers, it's sliced up, you can put it in a container, add a piece of onion, and it's going to last? We're gonna find out. In the video, the onion, nice, was a yellow onion. Unfortunately, at the store, I could only get yellow onions in like bundles of 6 to 12, and that seemed like too many. So hopefully a purple onion works the same.
Okay, and then we're gonna do a control, cutting an avocado the same way in a similar container, no onion.
Yep, and we'll leave it for a week. Well, it's been a week.
More.
It's been more than a week. We've left these sitting for a while because we wanted to see what the difference was going to be.
After a week, we were just like, let's give a few more days. We want to see more deterioration.
And a few of these things we can see right off the bat don't look the way they did in the original video.
No.
So, parsley.
The parsley that's in water
and not covered looks great. It looks
Healthy
alive
and happy.
Happy and still green, and looking through the plastic bag, it looks like our parsley has started to bleach a little bit.
I'm very confused.
These weren't near a window or anything, so they weren't getting burned. They're not too hot, but you can see we've lost a lot of green color.
That doesn't look healthy. I wouldn't want to eat that parsley. It didn't kill it.
It certainly didn't save it though.
No. If you're gonna just leave parsley out on your counter, don't worry about the bag.
Jar seems to work pretty well.
It's great.
It's nice and healthy. We had an avocado with an onion and an avocado without an onion, both in sealed containers in the refrigerator.
Now, supposedly the idea was that the enzymes from the cut onion was going to help preserve it, and at first glance,
they look identical to each other, not to when we put them in. Although neither one looks like it's gone bad. Like, neither has gone completely brown.
Does it taste like onion now?
It's still slightly mushy, but like in the good way that you want an avocado to be. Does it have the onion taste?
Oh yeah.
So that's probably a great thing to do for guacamole.
Yeah.
You can just infuse the onion flavor into your avocado.
If that's something you like, then absolutely, that's kind of funny. It didn't help preserve it at all, but it definitely added some onion flavor. See what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That is onion flavored avocado.
I'm quite curious about this one. So these were our control yolks. We just put 2 yolks in a bowl.
Okay, you have 2
They
yolks.
look like 2 yolks in a bowl. Oh, that's probably a little different texture. Looks like maybe some moisture has escaped.
Okay.
There's a kind of thick membrane feel to it on the
These
outside.
ones should be almost like cookies. So yeah, we're actually going to want a tray to cook the eggs on. Somewhere in here there's eggs.
Oh, that looks kind of gross.
Bake at mystery temperature for 15 minutes. I'm not sure why this would be your ideal situation for your egg yolks, but if it turns into something delicious, I've been proven wrong.
I'm going to try rinsing this one off.
Sure. Okay, we're just gonna go with 250 for 15 minutes.
Well, here's our squash. One we piled some salt on, covered with plastic. One we put plastic on with no salt. The one that we just put plastic on looks completely perfect and basically unchanged from the moment we put the plastic on it. Although it's bonded to the plastic a bit.
Interesting. It looks just like it did in the video for the one that they said they covered with salt.
And then the one that we did add salt to, the salt has sucked a lot of the moisture out of it to the point that it's like collapsed. Or was it?
Almost feels rotted.
It's physically smushier. Just way worse.
You've taken the moisture out of it, you've turned it into a spongy texture. It no longer probably tastes good. You've lost a good 1.5 inches of your squash. Why did you do that? Why 5-minute crafts? Why?
Plastic wrap, salt.
Hey guys, don't salt your squash
This
before putting plastic
still
wrap.
nice and firm, the texture it came. This, you can see that just tapping it with the knife, it gets covered in dents.
Debunked. Don't try and preserve
It
cut
actively
vegetables.
made it much worse. So here's our pineapple that we did nothing to but set on the counter. It looks like a pineapple.
Sure does. And here's the one that is better preserved, supposedly. Great.
Mold. It's moldy pineapple now. Yay.
If you cut open your fruits, guys, there's gonna be an expiration date. It's not gonna preserve them to cut them open and put them upside down on a plate. Don't do that.
I
Same.
recommended increasing the temperature from 250 to 350 because they didn't give a temperature. Maybe it's now overcooked and that's all my fault, but they didn't give a temperature.
No, this is just what a cooked egg yolk looks like. So I think they just put raw egg yolk on top of the noodles. Because this looks like a cooked egg yolk now.
And there's, yeah, it had that translucent,
Yes.
more orange sort of color to it.
Yes, they did. And then they just sort of cut it up into bits like this. And then this went on top of the noodles and it's supposed to be delicious. Enjoy.
Oh, it's so salty.
Can't, oh.
I'm so excited to try it now. That is one of the worst things I've
Okay.
ever tried for this channel.
Okay, I'm gonna try a piece of this one that I rinsed the extra salt off of, but it probably still absorbed a lot of salt.
It still just tastes bad.
Still, oh my goodness, salty.
I guess if you were using a lot of egg white for something and you just needed to preserve all the egg yolks so you weren't wasting them, just put them in the fridge, guys. Don't cover them in salt. That's not necessary.
All right, so I think we're 0 for 5 on these tests. The parsley
Yeah.
seemed to get worse than if
Yep.
you just set it in a jar. The squash definitely got worse than if you just
Absolutely.
put plastic over it.
The pineapple.
The pineapple got moldy and worse, while the uncut pineapple seems fine.
Just fine.
The avocado became slightly onion flavored, and other than that, did not get better or worse.
And the eggs were just...
Ruined, in my opinion.
This particular video by 5 Minute Crafts had 25 different methods of ways that you could preserve or keep food. I chose 5 that I thought would be a healthy mix of maybe some of these will work, some of them won't. As far as I can tell, nope. Is there any other videos you want to see us try to debunk? Let us know in the comments below. Guys, that's not all. You know we've always got more for you to see, and if you like this kind of content, make sure to hit that button below so you can subscribe so you never miss out on the fun. See you in the next one. Talk to you then.